Well, let me wish you a very, very good evening, a very warm welcome to the Be Brawn Sheffield Sharks player announcement channel on a Wednesday evening. My name is Mike Shaft. If you know me, you'll know I've been around basketball for quite a while, worked in Manchester, in Sheffield, just about everywhere in the country I've done games. In fact, I was looking at an old Sharks game when they took on Edinburgh. Boy, that's one drive, I tell you. Anyway, time to announce the next player in the lineup for the coming season. And I'll waste no time. Let us travel all the way to the USA and wish a very, very good evening, good afternoon. I'm not quite sure what his time is, to Bennett Koch, the returning Bennett Koch. Bennett,
hello.
A very warm welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And welcome to your second season.
Yes, second great season. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Okay, let's go back in time. You can tell me about your start in basketball, please.
My start in basketball, well, I guess it would go back to about middle school when I was maybe 13, 14 years old. I picked up a basketball and decided that's what I was going to do with my life. I had two older brothers. Both played basketball before me. They went to UNI, the university, and that's where I ended up playing basketball in college as well. So basketball has been a really big part of our family.
And your first season out of the States was the Netherlands, if I've got that correct.
Yes, sir, that's correct. With the Dutch Windmills.
What city were you in?
What city? Dordrecht. It was about 15 minutes outside of Rotterdam.
And what was that like for you?
Dordrecht with the Dutch Windmills. It was an interesting experience. We'll say that. It was the first year the club had started, so there were a lot of growing pains. The coaching staff, great guys, teammates, great guys. Nothing but positive things to say about them. I'll put it that way. That's what I'll say.
You can't keep suggesting that something wasn't right and not tell us what it is.
Well, they ended up, I'll give you the short story. They ended up problems, and towards the end of the season, they ended up going bankrupt. So it was a roller coaster. Like I said, great guys, great country, great coaching staff, nothing but good guys, or nothing but good things to say about them. Just not exactly how I wanted the season to end, I guess. So
how did you end up in Sheffield?
In Sheffield, well, I was talking to my agent. I said, what do you think a great fit is? He sent me the link to some Sheffield Sharks games, told me to talk to the coach, some of the old teammates, Mike Tuck. And right away, talking to Coach Atiba, I knew that he was a good guy. I knew a little bit about Mike Tuck. He's a great guy, let me just say that.
I'm going to start charging him for all these mentions he gets.
Yeah, seriously, start paying me, man. No, it just felt right. Everyone was nice. Everyone was looking out for each other. There was no problems outside of the court. Everyone was just playing basketball and having fun, getting to know each other, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So,
and when you arrived here at game one, what did you make of it?
I thought it was a good competition. I thought we played well together. We had a couple of exhibition games versus Newcastle, if I believe. Those all went very well. I didn't know much about the league. I didn't know that. I had learned that Newcastle and the Riders were some of the top tier teams, some of the better teams in the league. So to come out and play as well as I did, and for our team to come out and play as well as we did, I had very high hopes for the season. I thought we were off to a good start, and yeah, I just had a good experience for my first couple of games.
Well, I have to tell you, when I first saw you and called you the wrong name all the way through the game,
yeah.
I loved your game. I'm a big fan of big men who can get the job done. And you're ducking in and out and that kind of stuff was just wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. And last name, I get called all sorts of things. So I'm no hard feelings.
So let me just say, for people who don't know, your second name is spelled Koch. and I
Yes, that's
assumed it
correct.
was Koch. So,
Yeah.
nobody told me. Nobody told me.
No, very fair assumption.
You're trying to make me feel good now, don't you?
No, I have all the time, Billy. Don't feel bad.
No. I'm all right. I'm all right. I know I don't get it wrong now once I know. So,
Yeah.
one of your best games, you mentioned Newcastle and Riders. You had two monster games against those teams. 25 points in the game against Newcastle, 17 against the Riders, rebounds. How do you rack up those numbers against the best teams?
Well, I guess when it comes to the competition, when you're playing some of the best teams in the league, you just get more competitive, and I find it easier to compete and try a lot harder. Sometimes you get into the mindset where you play worse teams, you think maybe you don't have to try as hard, and sometimes you get into the mindset of if you play great teams, you got to try really hard. I think what was special about our team is that we tried our best to keep an even a level head, always try our hardest, whether it's a team that's struggling or a team that's really good, like Newcastle and the Riders. Funny story about the Newcastle game, my 25-point game. That was the first 3-pointer I had ever made in my entire basketball career, and it was an and one. So I'm really proud of that game. So I'm
for somebody
100% the 3-point line, and you could say it was an and one. So you could say that I'm averaging 4 points every time I take a 3-point shot. So yeah.
Tell us about your game from your point of view, please.
The Newcastle game, it was, I guess from the start, it seemed like the whole team came out with a lot of energy. Nick Lewis came out with a bunch of steals. Mackey was passing the ball around, rotating it. It just seemed like we were all playing in kind of a flow state. We were all trusting each other. We were all very unselfish. I remember Nick, he must have had 5 or 6 3-point made shots that game as well. So it wasn't just me that played well, it was the whole team that was playing well. And it's those kind of games that I find are the most fun and where I find the most success, just because everyone's trusting each other, everyone's passing, we're playing unselfish, we're just in this flow state where we're just playing basketball and having fun. I guess the way the game went, the ball ended up in my hands a lot of the time, and some of my teammates put me in a good position, lay up real quick. I remember I had a lob from Nick Lewis on a fast break. So like I said, we're all just looking out for each other, and the way the cards were dealt game, it was my game. I was in a position to score a lot. So yeah.
Tell me about your post play, and if you could name an NBA player that you like, you really think, I could be like him, who would it be? And tell me about your post game.
Interesting. A post, I see myself probably Shaq. I'm playing. Shaq is he's way too physical. That's a good question. I don't think about this question too often. Maybe I like the roundedness of someone like Dwight Howard. I think he's a very competent. I like his footwork. I like how aggressive he is. I'm certainly not as strong or as athletic as he is. I'll say that right now. But I like how his demeanor, he's just kind of get the job done, help the team out. And like I said, I like his footwork. I think it's a little different than most players, and maybe an average fan don't really think about those things. But as a post player, I'm really proud of my footwork, how I'm able to, pump fake, pivot, and reverse pivot and try and get a better angle on the hoop. So I would say Dwight Howard.
Cool. I'll say this. I love your post play. Now,
thank you.
I've asked all the players about this, the close down when it happened. How did you see that?
How did I see it? I think I was a little disappointed because in the beginning of the season, we were on a roll, playing great. And then we hit a little bit of a lull in the middle of the season. That was unfortunate. But towards the end there, I thought we found our footing again. And I feel like the entire league kind of had their footing again. They figured out how they wanted to play with each other. I know Glasgow really had it figured out. They were playing very well at a very high level. The Riders were playing well. The Lions were playing well. I thought if we would have played out the rest of the season, that would have been very interesting. I think all those teams that I mentioned would have had a very good shot at the title. I think it would have been very competitive, and I think it would have been a lot of fun to play out the rest of the season. But unfortunately, that's not how it went, and the coronavirus shut things down.
And you went back to the States very, very quickly, along with all the other Americans.
Yes, the operations for the Sharks, they took very good care of us and sent us home. They're very concerned about our safety and our health and sent us home because they thought that was the best decision. And I'm very grateful for their decision. Got home still healthy, so I'm good. Yeah.
So season number 2, whenever it starts, what are you looking forward to the most?
What am I looking forward to the most? I'm just looking forward to be around the guys again. I think I've been very complimentary about my teammates, and there's a reason for that. All of them are great guys. They want to get to know each other. We're all comfortable hanging out with each other. So I hope to build some more friendships. We got a couple new players on our team. Looking forward to meeting them, getting to know them. I'm really just excited to be around the guys again. I had such a great time last season talking and hanging out with them and playing basketball with them too. So I'm excited to be around the guys and the coaching staff again.
And the fans, tell me about the fans.
Best fans in the world? Absolutely. I made a lot of good friends with the fans. We got some parents and some children who come to every single game. Took me a while to remember their names, but made good friendships with them. They're all nice people, very complimentary. They're all caring, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again too.
Now, I know you mentioned that your brothers played basketball. You have a sister who's pro, but she plays volleyball. How did that come about?
Yeah, so both my brothers, they ended up playing professionally overseas as well. They're retired now. You mentioned my little sister. She gave up basketball. She never really liked it. And we all kind of knew, but basketball has been such a big part of our family that I guess maybe she felt pressured to play it for us. But for a little while there, like we knew that she didn't like basketball, and she ended up telling us that she wanted to play volleyball. Of course, we were very supportive, and it ended up working out for her because she's at Purdue right now playing volleyball.
And Purdue is one of the top colleges.
Yeah, they're usually top 25 in the nation every single year. They go to the NCAA tournament almost every year. So they are a very, very good program. They're in the Big Ten.
Well, Bennett, can I say it's an absolute joy to have you back? I'm not kidding when I say I love your post-game, the way you duck in, and at times the defender doesn't know where you've gone. And I say that in the commentary. Listen, thank you very much indeed. Really looking forward to having you back once the season gets started. I'll leave the final word to you.
I'm just happy to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very much looking forward to getting back to Sheffield. Love the guys, love the city, love the community, love the fans. Got nothing but positive experiences with the Sharks, and I'm looking forward to another season.
Bennett, thank you very much indeed, and all the very best.
Yes, thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Cheers. And there it is, our 6th player announcement, Bennett Koch. So far, we've got Mike Tuck, number 1, Mackie McKnight, 2, Rob Marsden, 3, Nicholas Lewis, 4, Callum Jones, 5, and Bennett Koch, 6. Join us again next Wednesday around about 7:30 for the next Sharks player announcement. All the very best. Bye-bye.